Welcome back to Crazy Gamers Games. Today is part 9, I believe, of this quest to build this AdMech army. As you can see here, I'm working on the armature. I have the top half assembled, and I have an 8mm magnet in the base there with some Vallejo plastic putty to hold the magnet in place. I'm just currently waiting for that to dry. I have the leg assembly. Once the magnet dries, I can see how much to take off of this knob and place another 8mm or 5mm magnet, depending on what size I want to use. And then I have the two weapons are magnetized, and I use green stuff to set the magnets in. Now, I went with a 3mm by 3mm magnet on these guys. That's the magnets right there. So, use the 3mm by 3mm, and then I also did the 3mm by 3mm into, so they're posable. They're posable, and they will stay on the armature warglaive. So that's that. So still waiting for green stuff to set on that. I have my 4 plasma cavaliers in there. So they have their 3mm by 2mm magnet in the back for their backpacks, and then they have 2 by 2mm magnets in their arms. They're all magnetized the exact same way. There's 4 of them. I have all the rest of the parts here magnetized. I just have to glue the arms on after I sit the magnets. After these magnets set, I'll have to glue the arms on. All the arms are magnetized. You see the backpack. There's a 3x1 magnet in there, and that gives us a nice firm hold on the backpacks. I was having some issues with the 2x3 magnets. They just wasn't enough surface area or enough power. So, and they hide really well. I mean, it's really hard to see that magnet. And once they're painted, you're not going to really notice that. And it's going to make it easier to paint, because I want to be able to get all in here and all on the other side of this backpack. So that's these guys. So they'll be done by the next video. And hopefully the warglaive will be done by the next video. But I wanted to talk to you. I had a lot of questions about, I have a lot of stuff on my table, and people were asking me, what is all the stuff that I use to build the models? So I'm going to go through what I use here. I have, for glues, I use Plastic Magic. This is the least one I use, but it's good. It has its uses. So I use the Plastic Magic, and then I use 2 glues from Tamiya. I use the extra thin quick setting. That is very good. It's a capillary glue. You just push the pieces together, dab a little bit on the seam, and it sets very, very quickly. And then I also use the thicker Tamiya cement at different times depending on the part that I'm doing. Like with these arm joints here. With the arm joints, you want them to spin freely like this. So if I would have used the extra thin, it would have seeped all down in there. So I use the thicker Tamiya. And if I'm gluing like little pieces like this, the handrails on the exhaust ports, I will use the Citadel plastic glue. It has more of a grabbing power. So if it's like a little fiddly piece, like a piston or something I just want to set and I can't use the quick set on it, or the Tamiya brush would be too big, I do like Citadel's plastic glue. It does have that instant grab ability. And I also was sent this to try this. It's a Faller Expert plastic glue. It's very similar to the Citadel plastic glue, but it has a smaller tip on it. And it does come out a little faster than you would like, but it has its uses. Like I glued a piece of plastic on the inside, and I was able to stick the needle pretty far in there to get the glue where I wanted it. Now for super glues, I switch back and forth between the super glue, Loctite super glue, ultra gel control. I like this for if I need to quickly super glue something, but my favorite glue is this 3M Scotch Weld CA5 Clear. This is a super powerful super glue. It's very thick. It takes longer to set. It takes 15 minutes to set. So if you need to set super glue, like on resin or magnets or things like that, this gives you a good work time, but be advised, it does take 15 minutes to set. So that's the super glue. That's basically all the glues, and sometimes I like to use the Vallejo plastic putty to, bond in magnets and also green stuff. When I'm using the super glue, I like to keep a little bottle of acetone that I put on a cotton swab, and after I super glue a magnet in, I will swab the area where the super glue was to get the excess super glue out so it doesn't dry all white and crystally, and you have to clean it up with sandpaper or scraper. I have a little pokey stick to spread super glue around. I have the different depth gauges for my magnets. This one's 3 millimeters deep, so I know how deep to drill my holes. I have a collection of magnets on my table. I have the 2x2s that I have, or 2x3s. These are 2x2. And then I have an assortment of 3 millimeter in diameter. I have 3x3, 3x2, and 3x1. And then I also have 2x5 and 2x1. The 2x5 is a unique one. It has its uses in certain cases. It gives you that little bit of extra power if you have a 2x1 on the other end of the magnet. It keeps it from falling off. I try to use the largest magnet possible. But, I have I use a Citadel plastic scraper, an X-Acto, and then these tools right here. This is a silicone color shaper. This is great for doing green stuff. You dip it in water, and then you can sculpt the green stuff really well. So I like this, and this is a plastic tool that you use for fondant. And if you get it wet, I have a set of these. You can really pack in green stuff and stuff like that. And it's got like a ball end on the other end. So that's what I use for my green stuff. Then I have tweezers, needle files. I have a Citadel saw with the blades. The blades are on it right now. That works great for chopping up parts. Like on the robot, on the arms, I had to chop 2 pieces off to glue them into the gun. These forceps, these are hemostats. These are fantastic for holding onto a part and cleaning it that's too small to hold with your hands, or placing it in place. And then I have your green stuff tools. This one's from Citadel. This one is my favorite one. This one's from Squadron Products, and it is very sharp, so you can cut the green stuff even off the strip before you mix it. And for cutting it, I just get it wet. But on the other end, it has this little rounded scoop, and it fits perfect into the head cavity of your Space Marines or your Adeptus Mechanicus, as these are, and you can really scoop out anything that oozed out of the hole and create the head socket back to its uniform shape. Because when I do my arm shoulder magnets, I like to drill all the way through to where there's a little bit of a hole into the head cavity. And so when I pack it with green stuff and I push the magnet in, the whole cavity fills and the green stuff just oozes out a bit, and I just scoop it out with this tool, and then the heads will go right in place. Sometimes I got to use a little super glue on the heads. And then I have just 2 dusting brushes. I clean a figure. Sorry about that. I clean a figure off. It's got dust on it. I got 2 different ones. So there's that. And then I have my center punch for drilling. Marking center. I have a little roto countersink for, you know, after I drill the hole, I hit the hole with the countersink, and it makes it easier for the magnets to go in. Also, it gives me a little lip around it, so the green stuff will seal around the magnet better. Then I have multiple of these little alligator clips on sticks that fit into little holes on the back of my work table here, that I can sit parts there to glue, to dry, things like that. And then I have an assortment of sanding apparatuses. I have Micromesh, I have Squadron product sanding sticks, and these are called sanding twigs. These are nice for getting into tight spaces and getting the stuff out. So I have a little assortment of those. I have a little bottle of alcohol for cleaning parts. I have a little bottle of water for working with green stuff. Assortment of the Q-tips. And then I have a little tri-point scraper. I use this also for marking center holes and drilling the starter holes for the magnets. Then I have a little roto burr for if I have like a larger hole, my little countersink won't do. This will clean the hole out pretty well. I have a pin vise that always has a 2 mil in it, and then I have a secondary pin vise that I can put larger drill bits in, 3 millimeter and such things like that. I have 2 end mills I keep on my bench. This is a 3 mil. After you drill a hole with the 3 millimeter drill, it will leave like a pit because of the angle of the drill. It won't drill flat, and I just hit it with this end mill, and it squares the bottom of the hole, so you can go a little deeper with a larger magnet without actually busting through the arm or going too deep. And then I also have a 2 millimeter because that's the 2 most common. I have some other ones, but I don't keep them on my work table. And then this table itself is from GC Mini, Gamecraft Miniatures in California. They sent me this. This is fantastic. It has a light bar that goes on it that doesn't run on power, doesn't run on batteries. You plug it in. It's fantastic. It's got an extra long cord, and it's fantastic. I love this little workstation. Cutting mat. I got paper towels. It's basically everything I need to build. I also can convert it to where I can paint with it also. So I just switch everything out, put it in bins, and then I can paint on it. And then most importantly, I use a pair of these. These are headband, goes on your head, and it's got a 2-time magnification lens, but it can be swapped out for more magnification. And it also has a light on it, so with my eyesight, I can't build anything without these. They're essential. So that is the tools I use to build my army. When we come back in the next video, I'll have the armature done, the plasma guys done, and we will unbox a new item that we are going to build. I haven't decided what that is. And I will see you next time for Crazy Gamer Games. I'm the Crazy Gamer. Have a wonderful day.